everyone, and welcome to my video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Pro-PEX style fittings. These have become a revolutionary style of fitting in the plumbing industry and really are taking off in the residential and commercial applications. Stay tuned, we'll take a look at how we make and utilize these fittings. Tools that you're going to need, obviously a tape measure if you're measuring any lengths of pipes. You're going to need a PEX cutting tool. So whatever style PEX cutting tool you want to use. You're going to need your fittings, so once again your appropriate Pro-PEX fittings. You'll need the crimp rings, which are very, very cheap. So we have some cheap crimp rings. We'll talk about what they do. And then the most expensive tool that you'll need is this PEX expander. So these have come down in price. They're still a pretty substantial investment though when you look at the world of plumbing. One important note to take into consideration is that this style tool, as well as these style fittings, will only work with PEX A. So there are multiple different styles of PEX. We have a PEX A tubing and a PEX B tubing. PEX A tubing is a super flexible tubing, allows us to turn tight radii, and the PEX B is not so flexible. All right. So it's important that we have the correct PEX style tubing. You'll also note that there are different diameters between the two of them. So PEX A being larger than PEX B. These are both 1/2-inch PEX. However, the PEX A is larger than the PEX B. And then the fittings you will need differ as well. So over here we have the Pro-PEX, which is the PEX A, versus the crimp style, which is PEX B. They look very, very similar, so it's oftentimes people get them confused. The PEX A or Pro-PEX fittings are going to be more expensive. You can just see on the sheer mass and bulkiness of them. However, they make up for it in how quick this joint goes together. So how we make this joint. The first thing you're going to do is make sure you have your safety glasses on. Always practice safety. When we look at cutting, you want to make sure you have a nice square cut. So making sure that we're not cutting this at an angle. We want to make sure this is a nice square cut to the pipe. At that point, what you're doing is taking your PEX crimp ring, which gets ordered separately, and make sure these crimp rings are for the Pro-PEX because they make different style crimp rings for the other crimp PEX fittings. This gets applied on the pipe ahead of time, so it is unidirectional. You'll find that it will not go on the other way. There's a little stop inside this fitting which only allows it to go on one direction. Make sure that is bottomed out. At that point, we're going to take our Pro-PEX expansion tool, and this gets inserted, and you simply squeeze the trigger and let this tool do the work. You'll see that this tool rotates, so it expands and rotates. That's critical. A lot of the hand tools prior to these, you would have to expand, rotate, expand, rotate, expand, rotate. With this tool, you simply insert and let the tool do the work. We're looking for about 7 expansions prior to inserting the fitting. So we'll insert this. I'm going to squeeze the trigger. We'll count to 7 expansions. 1, 2, you can see it rotating, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That gives you enough time to get the tool down. Insert our fitting and allow the plastic memory to come back and grab that fitting. So you can see this is already locked in, starting to do its work where it is grabbing this fitting.